Running that clock out, guys. Running that clock. Just got done with class. 3 of you guys showed up. Very disappointed at the rest of you guys. I know some of you guys are working, and I understand that. But I know all of you guys aren't working, so a little disappointed on that. Styling, guys, styling. Now that the mustache getting big, the mask is getting a little rough. Beard's growing in, looking good. Missed you guys. We did quite a few things. Did a lot of talking. Some of you guys did this before. I had extra copies of it, so I decided to do it in class, which was good. Nothing wrong with vocabulary. We did this too, which I use this in actually a lot of my classes, especially the freshman classes. Which was somehow, I'll try to get it to you guys. And then we used we have a new dialogue. We went over the old dialogue and we actually read it and then did A, B, A, B, A, B. Which actually turned out quite well. Actually, all the students did well. We talked about vocabulary. Right, vocabulary. And then I gave a new one, larger print. It's funny, everything's backwards on here. You could screen capture that's for sure. I could do a PowerPoint, but I'm not going to. We have an issue to talk about. You screen capture it. Write it down yourself. What we need to talk about, there's an idiom, the elephant in the room. That might be a new idiom for you guys, but it's a very good idiom. There is something we need to discuss, and I wish you guys would have came to class. A little martini time. So we could get a general consensus on this. Is that school policy now is we should be meeting face to face. Now, a lot of you guys are working, and or busy, I guess. I don't know. We had a very good class, so we had a lot of fun today. I do miss the face-to-face classes. But the cooking classes are now going to be face-to-face. But I'm still, because you guys agree, and I know you guys, most of you guys will agree, we can do online classes to blend these together. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing online classes, and then after that, we'll see about maybe meeting face to face. Face to face is really good for getting you guys to talk. Now, some of you guys have good abilities, some don't, and that doesn't matter. What I really want you guys just to try. We went over the book, and as your homework, you should be up to, where is it? Page 14. Right? So every week is basically a chapter, 2 chapters that we're going to be doing. which I'm not going to be putting online. This is going to be true homework. It's up to you guys. I'll tell you where to go and what to do. This will be part of your grading. At the end of the semester, I will collect these books and grade them. So it's up to you. This is chapter 6. Chapter 6, tools 3. But you can go farther. You can go, this is page 14. You can go up to 16, 18, 20. It's up to you. Autodidactical. Autodidactical means self-learning. You guys are on your own on this. I'm going to be doing now a lot of my own stuff in the face-to-face classes. We're going to be doing a lot of things that I think is very important. This actually turned out really well with in class. A lot of questions. Students had a lot of questions about usage, how the words are used. And a past was interesting. Because if you look at the dictionary, past could mean yesterday. Yesterday is the past. So there was a lot of interesting questions, and that's what it's all about. As a teacher, the only way I can teach you is you tell me what you don't know. And even with the ability of some of these students, all 3 of them that showed up today had a very, very good grasp of language. You guys did very good, better than I thought. Even quiet one, who is now Mr. Chubby. Chubby, I think is his name. Sounds too much like Chubby for me to not use that. This was actually for you guys, for the online students. But class is not online. School now requires face-to-face classes when needed. So it's not an option anymore. Don't worry about your grades. Don't worry about today. I know that it's all new. It's all new, so I'm not. Not saying it doesn't matter to me, but you guys getting better does matter to me. As most teachers, we really just want you to be a little better every day, a little better than yesterday. Yesterday is the past, today's the present, and tomorrow's the future. So once again, I want you guys to be a little better. Upcoming classes. Now we talked about that. We talked about so many things. It was a good class. It was a good class. But upcoming online classes for 2 weeks, we're going to talk about first class. It should be one class. It could go into 2 classes. A lot of material is wanted ads. Help wanted. What responsibilities does a busboy have? What responsibility does an executive chef have? And I did busboy, line cook, sous chef, and executive chef. Want ads, because in your book, page, whoops, that page 5. I don't even like the layout of this kitchen, because in page 8 they have basically the focus. It doesn't look like it's really focusing very well. These are want ads. These are want ads. What's particular about these are newspaper want ads. What you would run in a newspaper. Who uses a newspaper for jobs anymore? Nobody. Because in newspapers you paid per letter or paid per word. So you have 10 words, and they're very short. They don't really tell you much about the job that you're going to be working. New ones online, like you're going to see in next week, is internet want ads, which tell you everything that you need to do that job. From how much you have to lift to how long you have to stand, where you're going to be working, how you're going to be working, how, meaning your presentation, what you're going to present to the customer of who you are and representing the company. Now I picked all American places, only because I know I don't know all the places, but I know the local traditions and styles of these areas. One's a destination resort. Another one is a Chicago hotel. So there's small and large things like that. But they have a really good description on what these jobs are like, or what they should be, and what you would expect as an employee to do. The reason why I'm covering this is that hopefully, first of all, like I said, we're meeting face to face. This pandemic might be coming to an end. We might be finished with this. And by next spring, it should be over. And that being said, the market, the Korean domestic market, is going to grow very quickly again. Korea is very unique in the way that domestic tourism is a majority of the tourism. Most of the tourism in this country are Koreans visiting Korea, going to other places in Korea. And when this pandemic clears up, that will be the first fast growth. The second will be international tourism. But that's going to be, depending on countries and things like that, we might not see, you see Malaysian people all the time. Before the pandemic, a tremendous amount of Malaysians used to come to Korea. They have obviously have stopped. And I don't know what the pandemic situation is in Malaysia today, but they might not be coming for another 2 or 3 years. We might see more Japanese now because of the proximity, how close they are. Japan itself is pretty far behind in vaccinations, surprisingly. The whole Olympic thing was, do you remember we had Olympics? Nobody does. It was a disaster. So we don't know where the tourism is coming from. China itself now has highly vaccinated, but their tourism is not even domestic has picked up. So each culture is going to be a little different. And I'm predicting in Korea, though, the domestic tourism will pick up very quickly and really help us meaning the hospitality industry, get back to work. So, and then with that, once the domestic is rolling, people are going to start looking international, and hopefully a lot of you guys start looking for interns or just overseas experience. It's the best teacher for you guys. So that's why I'm going to be going into WAN ads. You guys, and once again, a focus on vocabulary words. The vocabulary words, which I focus it on in class, like recipe writing, are very important. Are important words, which brings up to another point. The following class after that, once again, this is homework. Class time will be online, and we're going to talk about WAN ads and job responsibilities, and then the second thing will be menu copy, menu words. I realized very quickly, and just recently, that the English classes don't really cover menu writing, menu words, and they're very important because you know how to cook, but how do you tell people that you cooked what you're cooking? Are potatoes? Are they pan-fried potatoes with onions and peppers, or are they potatoes O'Brien? Which once again, most dishes do have a name, and if you don't want to use the name, you need to make a nice sounding word. Instead of just saying, fried potato and onion, you would say, sauteed potatoes with caramelized onions. That's menu copy. It's make things sound delicious. And that's going to be the next part of the e-learning that we're going to go into, is that. And that's a very real need, because a student recently approached me and asked me about what do I call this, what I say about that. And that's happened in the past, but this really made a point to me that as an educational institution, we don't really go into that well. Yeah, you guys are using these books and things like that, and I know what is it? Interchange. They're good, but I want to give you more English that you guys are going to use directly. Keywords. If you've been in my cooking classes, you know, always focus on keywords. And keywords sometimes, like in this past experience, weren't being used. You know, sweat the garlic. Things like that. Sweat garlic and onions, deglaze. They're all very good cooking terms, and they cover a lot of ideas. If you saute the vegetables, what does that mean? Right? Hot pan. That's not burning hot. That's another mistake. Because people think saute must be smoking hot. No, it just means a preheated pan, a little oil, and short cooking time. That's the basic of saute. So when I say saute the onions, I'm not going to have to tell you preheat the pan, add oil, lightly saute, remove. No, saute the onions. And you know, the lightly saute means sweating. That's the next step. Sweat, lightly cook, and then caramelize onions, which means to turn brown. And you really only caramelize onions. You don't caramelize garlic. Too dangerous. You end up burning it. So these are terms that you're gonna need to know. You should know. You should know these already from class. If you've been in my classes, you should be well versed in cooking terms. So if you do have the opportunity to translate recipes, which has come up recently, you should be able to do it very well. So we're going to talk about that in the following ones. Oh, another thing, what a student talk, what about? Weights and measurements. Pounds, ounces, and things like that. We could go over that a little. It's vocabulary once again, but it's very, very valid. You have a working idea of what is called imperial. That's pounds, ounces, cups, quarts. Well, you guys use quarts, cups, I mean, gallons. That's called imperial measurement. It's not an American measurement. America still uses it, yes, but it originated in England. That's why, hence first the term imperial. Canada now uses liters, but a gallon is 3.75 liters. An imperial gallon was 5 quarts, which would make it probably about 6 liters, 6.5 liters. So even in the United States and Canada, we had a little difference, even though we're both using imperial measurements. Very confusing, very confusing. But maybe we'll devote 15, 20 minutes to that in a video in the future. If you guys have any ideas that you want to go over, that you think that you need to learn more of, we can do that. We are very flexible. Today we had a great time in class. I really wish you guys showed up. We had a fun time. Because learning should be fun. It should be fun. Okay? Recording the classes are useless. I realize that. So I'm not going to be doing that. When we meet face to face, I want you guys to show up face to face. School policy now is when we have class face to face, student is responsible for showing up, from my understanding. Once again, I don't know exactly. Yeesh, that was over here. Water. It's up to the students to show up for that. What some of you guys have jobs and things, so don't worry about that. Everybody gets attendance. I mean, we have a rough time, but at this point now, you guys have to understand, it's time to chase knowledge. It's time to go after the information, and every teacher here is more than happy to present this information. You guys just have to make yourself available and come into class. Okay. That's it on this class. Get up to chapter 6. Those are the items we talked about and about the future. I just want you guys to do better. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm always available, hopefully. And that's it. Where's a school notice? Let me see. Oh, yeah, thank you. So now I filled in these dates. And the Shilsup class, of course, I could understand, but you guys, I'm not sure. So I had to put in something. And we're going to probably stick to this pretty closely, except for right now. Even the next 2 weeks, according to this, next week is online and then face to face. No, for 2 weeks we're gonna meet online. We got a lot of information to give you. They got a lot of information, and then we'll probably meet face to face. I will notify you guys ahead of time. If you're working and stuff like that, please just tell me about that. But you'll have 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks we'll find out official school policy, because that was just Joe just we must do it. I'm like, I'm not sure about anything. So at that point, au revoir. See you later. Good luck.